What a beautiful day at the cozy home of a certain giraffe. There was an unmistakable energy, an undeniable sense of warmth and accomplishment that came from a life well lived. The giraffe was a force to be reckoned with. It all started when it was just 15. While most teens were worrying about their grades or their social lives, it was gliding down a snowy slope at exhilarating speeds. Giraffe didn't just ski, it won the downhill skiing competition that day. At 23, Giraffe found itself in an unexpected place again, this time bowling with none other than Gary Coleman. Yes, the Gary Coleman. But life isn't just about unexpected encounters or athletic feats. It is about finding joy in the things that truly matter. Giraffe has its very own nail salon. Beyond the salon, Giraffe's greatest joys come from being surrounded by family, cats, students who fill its days with laughter and learning, and colleagues who become close friends. Having attended Lincoln as a student, Giraffe always knew that one day it would return, not just as a teacher, but as someone who could give back the lessons it had once learned. Giraffe remembers with pride how it felt to earn its college degrees. That achievement, more than anything, stood as a testament to Giraffe's perseverance. Giraffe's love of books is another constant thread woven throughout its life, and it finds solace in the works of Jan Brett, Robert Frost, and Agatha Christie. And we can't forget Giraffe's favorite movie, Death on the Nile. Giraffe has never been able to go to sleep without a cat or a dog nestled at its side. It's a small thing, perhaps, but it means the world to Giraffe, as do the mountains and waters she discovered on her honeymoon in Canada. Giraffe has traveled far, achieved much, and built a life to be proud of. But as the night settled in, with the soft purring of a cat at its side and the distant sound of students' laughter still ringing in its ears, Giraffe knew this was exactly where it was meant to be.
Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles Andre and illustrated by Guy Parker Reese. Giraffes Can't Dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lion saw him coming and soon began to roar. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald! The animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. So he crept off from the dance floor and started walking home. He'd never felt so bad before, so sad and all alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald early on. But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up into the air. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. I am dancing, yes, I am dancing, I am dancing, Gerald cried. Then, one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we have ever seen. How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We all can dance, he said, when we find music that we love.